Hi, my name is Grace Baroni, and welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. Today I have with me Mike Mazzuca, Jeff Smith from the Wilbraham Economic Development Committee. We're so excited to have you gentlemen with us today. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
This is great. And it's exciting. This is the chamber, so we should be talking about all these wonderful things. Tell me a little overview. Give me an overview of the role that you're playing on this committee.
Wilbraham had started up this committee years ago, and Jeff was a part of it.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. And then after noticing that Wilbraham had an opportunity to bring business on board, I wanted to resurrect that. So, of course, I called Jeff. Jeff was excited, and we've worked together now with our committee and really trying to get people to understand how great a town Wilbraham is, especially if you want to do business. And as we put things together, as we've been able to present things to different businesses, they're recognizing Wilbraham is a great place to do business. And we want to get that message out to everybody.
That's fantastic. And what better way to do it than with the chamber?
Absolutely.
Together, we can accomplish great things. And to your point, it is a great place to do business. You've got this fabulous, quintessential New England small town. You know, it's got that college vibe with the academy over here. On the weekends, I mean, I'm always here walking, running. It's got everything you need.
Absolutely.
And then you've got also Boston Road, though. And that's a fantastic place as well, because to get from one place to the other, you've got to travel up and down Boston Road, like our neighbors in Palmer, Munson, and so forth that work in the city. They're always traveling this great area of Boston Road, and you know, what better place to open up a business?
Yeah.
You got the best of both worlds.
Yes, we do.
So tell me more. What are your thoughts? What kind of businesses are you looking to attract, to bring in?
Well, I think we're open to the different types of businesses that may want to come in. It really comes down to somebody who wants to come in, feel comfortable, and know that you have a really great and strong community that will support that business. Jeff owns a business here in Wilbraham. And Jeff, would you feel that Wilbraham really is supportive?
Yeah, 100%. You know, at Town Hall, all of the entities within Town Hall are always super helpful to local businesses. One of the interesting things about Wilbraham is that our planning board and our zoning board of appeals, who they kind of govern the bylaws, our zoning bylaws that allow the use of land for business and residential, they're very amenable to listening to somebody's case about a use that may not currently be allowed. Take as a prime example, the brewing of beer, okay? That really wasn't allowed in Wilbraham. And Fieldcrest Brewing, approached the town and said, we'd like to locate in Wilbraham. And, we understand that there aren't provisions currently, but we'd really like to be here. And the planning board put together zoning, and they pitched it to the legislative body, who is the voters in the town.
Yes.
And, the townspeople were gracious enough to say, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. And they went forward. Now we have a brewery. And we always have other breweries looking to locate here now because of the success of Fieldcrest. So
Absolutely.
the same thing with gas stations. We had some zoning that didn't allow those. We opened it up. We got a beautiful Cumberland Farms, right in the heart of our business district. So I think the town government is very amenable to, seeing these opportunities for businesses to locate in the town, and then to follow up, the townspeople really support the government and say, yeah, this looks like a good idea, let's move forward with it, because we're very sensible in Wilbraham about how we move forward and we progress.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing, being sensible and realizing that we always have to be looking forward. We can't just stay where we've been. We need to adapt at all times and just explore what the future is going to look like and how do we make it something that is doable for businesses or for that young entrepreneur
Sure.
who's got a great dream, and how do I get this together? And being able to go to the town hall and say, hey, I know it maybe isn't zoned for this now, but is there opportunity for conversation?
Right.
And how do we make it happen? Well, we have to talk about this wonderful project that we could walk over to on Main Street. And is it Burt? Main and Burt?
Green Park.
Yes.
It's fabulous. Fantastic. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's everything. You've checked off all the boxes.
Well, actually, that was a passion project of Jeff's, and he brought it to my attention, and I thought it was fantastic to be able to actually start creating a downtown footprint for Wilbraham.
Yes.
And to be able to go and walk through, and you can see the businesses that are being built now off of Main Street, and being able to really provide the community with a easier way to come in, park your car, go to the different shops, be involved. It's very exciting. And I'm taking all of Jeff's, because again, this was his it was his imagination, and it was a fantastic idea.
So the Economic Development Committee is looking into essentially a municipal parking project kind of in the heart of our downtown area. It would be in the back end of Crane Park, in front of what's the old police office. It's now the skin care center.
The post office.
Yes.
Interglow.
Interglow, yes.
Interglow.
Sorry, I apologize.
Fabulous business
I
as well.
apologize to
They're all
Interglow that
fantastic.
it escapes me. But with the development that's happening there, and the true passion is really in Pafumi's and Dave and Dave from Scannick Brewing. The effort that has gone into building a large structure that really fits in there. There's tireless hours have gone into that. So what we want to do is kind of ride the coattails of the success of that project, and help them and provide some municipal parking that would allow further development of the downtown. Again, sensible. If you notice that building, not a lot of people know this, but that building that's going up, the facade and the gable end of it are meant to look like a white, colonial house. They actually went to the historic commission in town before designing this, and worked with the historic commission and said, what do you think would fit in? Even though it's not a historic district, it was, with an eye for, we want something that's going to be big and accommodating, but at the same time fit in with what's going on. And I think they nailed it. So that's super exciting. That's been going on for years. That was a difficult project going on. So again,
and here I was thinking that's moved along really quickly.
Yeah, I mean that probably started about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Really?
To get to the point that we're at today. So the parking end of it, when Mike and I got together, we kind of had this project on the back burner, and I brought it forward and said, I think this would be perfect for economic development. And Mike said, let's hit it out of the park. Perfect. Yeah. So we've been able to secure some funding from the ARPA money from the town, and we're moving along with a request for proposal, and we're gonna eventually get something cooking there. But that's one of the more exciting things that we've been able to kind of get going, and hopefully spur some more activity. Again, though, sensible, because we don't want to disrupt the residential small town charm of that town center. So everything has to be done kind of with an eye for, we don't want to ruin what we have.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think you've done a great job. As you said, you nailed it.
Yeah.
You really did. It doesn't take away from the charm and the aesthetics of that, the academy there and that whole vibe. It just kind of seems to fit in very nicely. And I think it's great for Interglow Beauty and the other businesses over there. You've got the library, you've got them. You can park your car and you can walk around and you can, spend the morning and accomplish a whole lot of great things.
And
that's good for business. That's good
Sure
for
it is.
everyone.
Absolutely.
And the
Good for the
state
town.
is offering a lot of incentives for these New England towns to kind of redevelop their town centers. So, there's incentives if you put in an electric charging station and maybe solar lighting and, pervious pavement for the parking where the water drains through and it doesn't require as much stormwater management.
Right.
So we're looking into all of those modern ways of, doing this development, again, to fit in and just be cognizant of what's going on. We wanted to add to, not disrupt.
Yeah.
You know. So, but I think the true, where the real potential is on the Boston Road end of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of capacity on Boston Road with some of the vacant properties that we have. A lot of people see vacant properties. We see this as opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you like to see on Boston Road?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things happening.
Well, we've already
And
been,
the vibe is good. The vibe is good. Businesses are doing great. And something we were talking about, I think it's fantastic that some of those businesses, the mall barber, Maria, she
Yes.
said, if I wasn't staying on Boston Road, I wasn't going to continue to be open.
Yeah.
That was key for her because Wilbraham is her customer base.
And mall barbers and School of Fish both. Here you are, and here they've got to find a new place, and they've got to move around. And we were able to help accommodate them. We were able to help provide some help to them to make the transition into Wilbraham easier. So can you imagine? Here they are. They're a business. They're trying to find a community to go to. They do want to come into Wilbraham, and we're welcoming them with open arms. So right away, they're feeling the warmth. And we're hoping that they will tell their other business friends so they'll want to come into Wilbraham as well. And and there's other opportunities. I've had conversations with the planning board. Jeff is always in touch with the planning board where there's land that could be developed and things, and they're open. They're open to it. Again, as Jeff mentioned, not to disrupt the residential community, but maybe we can bring in the businesses that will help enhance it.
Yeah, and if you look at the mechanics of the town, right? Like let's look at what we have to offer. And you look at Wilbraham versus locating in an adjacent community, let's say. Well, Wilbraham has a singular tax rate, right? So
Yes.
what that means is that, yes, most of the residents would agree that our taxes are a little bit more than we'd like them to be.
That's any town.
Yes, and that is any town. That's across the region for sure.
Right.
But the singular tax rate basically says that those businesses are going to pay the same tax rate as a residence would. Whereas if you have a dual tax rate, the way it's set up in the Commonwealth, it actually has to be quite a bit more for the business tax rate. So a lot of businesses, even in Springfield, it costs them a lot more for their real estate taxes to operate in Springfield than it would for
it
the
does
same
here.
exact size facility if they came into Wilbraham. Talk about maybe Home Depot.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper for them to be in Wilbraham than it is right over the line in Springfield. So
Great point.
the singular tax rate, right? Now we have water from the Quabbin. Now I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on this specifically, but I believe there's 3 communities that are on water from the Quabbin: Boston, South Hadley, and Wilbraham. And that goes back to when they started flooding the villages. I don't know who made the deal for Wilbraham to get it,
Well.
but we have some of the best water in the country. Let's say you're a brewery and you're looking to locate here. The number one thing that you need to brew beer is good water. The number one expense is getting your water conditioned, and you're bringing all that water in. So it saves you a lot of expense in water conditioning equipment to do that.
Yeah.
At the same time, we've got sewer. We have a sewer line all the way down Boston Road. So if you
All
add
good
up
points.
if you add up all of
Absolutely.
these things, Wilbraham becomes a very attractive place to locate your business.
Absolutely. And we'll have to then catch up in another 6 months and see where we're at. But in the meantime, because you made some really great points here, and like the Quabbin, the water, I never thought twice about it, but you're right, with the brewery, it makes sense. So if there's businesses out there who are listening and thinking about where do I move to, or I'm considering relocating, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you?
I would say to go to the Town of Wilbraham website.
Okay.
And there's sections of the site for each committee. We are the Economic Development Committee. We can be contacted right through the website.
Yep.
Okay. They can just click the link and they'll be in touch with you.
Absolutely.
All
Yep.
right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us
Grace,
today. This was great. I
thank you
appreciate
very much.
it.
Thank you very much, Grace.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us for Conversations with the ERC5 here at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham. If you would like to be the next guest on the podcast, go to our website, erc5.com, and you can sign up there.